Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the Misfortune Podcast. My name is Caden. As usual, I'm joined here by my co-host, Julius.
Let's fucking go. I'm excited to be here
Yep.
and do another motherfucking episode.
Another episode. It feels like it's been a while.
It has yeah, it really has. Like I feel like I was done watching fucking Innocence like 2 fucking months ago.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I wasn't.
Yeah. But we're back.
We
Talking
are
about
back.
more anime and other things that aren't anime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just some shit came up. You know, we had shit to do almost every fucking day where we decided to record.
Yeah.
You know, like we both went on vacation at points, which
We did.
Also, we did not go on vacation willingly. We were taken hostage by our parents.
Yeah, we weren't forced to, right?
I mean, figuratively, just so
In a
law
video game.
enforcement. Yeah, just so law enforcement doesn't say anything. I was saying figuratively, we were forced to go on these trips. So,
Right. Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have stayed the fuck in.
We took the various precautions that we
took all the precautions outside.
Well, I assume
of the area in which we should be quarantining it.
I assume you flew there.
I did flew.
You did flew.
I did flew.
I drove to Colorado, which let me tell you, that's a grueling road trip.
How long of a trip is that?
It's about 12 hours.
Jesus fuck.
Yeah. I mean, that's not even the longest one I've gone on, and the way up didn't seem terrible, but boy, the way back.
It's always the fucking way back. Yeah, like I think the longest trip I've been on is a plane to goddamn Hawaii, which was 8 hours.
That's like 8 hours, yeah.
Just perpetually waking up, falling asleep, waking up again in hopes that you finally fucking landed, and then falling asleep again. It had been the first time that I'd been on a plane in a while, and it's nice once you're up there. You know, it's pretty nice once you're up there. I did have the anxieties, you know, all the anxieties of being on a plane when it first started, but like then I'm like, you know what? Who fucking gives a shit?
Yeah.
You know? And then it was just smooth sailing the second time. So
it's good.
I'm in California. I just went to the fucking beach every day, pretty much. So yeah.
Was the beach there? How nice was the beach there?
Okay, so I went to 3 different beaches. I went to Santa Monica Pier. I did like the pier. It was fucking foggy as fuck up there. I heard that was something called like the marine layer, where it's like everything's just super fucking misty and like the sun isn't out.
What you're talking about.
And I went to the pier. The pier was cool. The beach was probably the most crowded of the 3 I went to, and the parking lot we were at, they were just fucking trash, like everywhere. And
that's California for you.
It looked like people had a fucking party over, like a rave or something by the beach. I think that's what happened. You know, there are various, you know, people were probably picking up food at this party. You know, you got some fucking, you had Burger King wrappers, you had fucking McDonald's, Sonic,
Jesus,
all different kinds, all the different
had a mosh pit
nations,
in the parking lot.
All the nations of fast food. But I didn't even go in the water that time, just because there was too many fucking people.
Yeah,
and it just looked like shit because of the fucking fog. Like it looked like shit, and I wasn't trying to get cold because it was also really cold. I will say one thing about California: weather's fucking great over there. Where we are, it feels like fucking shit every day.
It's just burning hot.
Shit, I hate it. But in California, it's fucking smooth. The first day I went there, when we arrived, I rode a fucking bike around. It was so freeing. And then the second day, I also rode a bike.
Yeah.
Over on a 15-minute ride over to Venice Beach, which was fucking cool, dude. There were people token up there, dude.
With Italy?
Yes, I did meet Giorno there. I met Giorno.
I met Giorno Giovanna.
I asked if I could. Never mind. But no, dude. Like Venice Beach was fucking probably one of my favorite parts. It was just so cool. There's so many different types of people there. Way more diverse than, you know, where we're at, and like. there was a fucking weed shop, which was just a weed shop, just right next to like a fucking ice cream shop.
Yeah, so speaking of weed shops, so I went to Colorado.
Yeah, speaking of weed.
Speaking of weed, I had a very similar experience. So there in Colorado, the weather, you talking about the weather there too, it's perfect. I think the hottest we ever got was like 80.
Yeah,
Like,
no, same.
It was awesome. Yeah. And then, like literally every block there would be a weed shop.
Yeah, and I had a fucking I had a fucking relative get out. He was sitting in his truck with his baby, and he came out and he was like, "It's hot out here." I'm like, "What the fuck, dude? It's like it's the perfect weather out here.
Yeah,
if this is hot in California, sign me up, motherfucker."
Yeah, compared to here, I seriously doubt that difference from the equator is...
The weed shops. So crazy how we went in like 30 years from like it will literally fucking kill you if you do it. You will get addicted to it and you'll fucking die, to like people are just fucking casually having it by the beach, you know?
I remember when I went to California last time, I was like young. I think I was like 10. And but we were on the pier or on like a beach. It was in San Francisco. And all of a sudden this gay parade starts coming past.
Yeah.
So that wasn't what really messed with me so much as they were all older people on bicycles. But I'm not joking you when I tell you that not a single one of them had an artifact of clothing on their body.
What the fuck?
And it was a little bit of a strange experience for a 10-year-old Caden to see that in California.
All those dicks.
Yeah.
Isn't that like a crime?
Not only men, but the women too.
Wait, isn't that like a crime? Can't you not do that?
Oh yes. Oh, it is.
But they did it. How?
It's California, dude.
It's Cali.
You can get away with anything in California. It's the land of the lawless.
Yeah, it just felt like going through a bunch of different like fucking people's houses. It was weird. Like there was this this thing that this lady was holding that was all about like love and stuff, and there's these people just shacking up, just leaning on the wall and shit, listening, and I was just like, this is amazing. Like,
no, I love California as long as it's like the right areas, because I do not like the Los Angeles area. Like,
right. Well, the second beach I went to was, the second beach I went to wasn't as crowded, know. Right. And the third one was slightly more crowded, and the waves were fucking crazy as shit. So and they were cold to me, and so I did not want to get in the water that time. So.
I see.
So I did not. So.
Hey,
that's beach.
Give me just a second. Can we pause recording because I just spilled Coke all over my my nightstand. Where'd my keys go? Where are my keys?
Oh no.
Where are the keys to my car? Here they are. They're covered in Coke.
I'm not saying anything.
I just reached for my Coke and it's just gone.
That's sad.
It disappeared. It is.
You the
dude.
sad
That's
Hunter
one
X
of the saddest things you can. That's one of the saddest things you can do to a man is take his Coke.
Take his Coke.
Tight. That's brings a tear to the eye. Anyways.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
So yeah, California, pretty fun. Liked it. Fun. Cool.
Yeah.
Fun.
Nice. I equally had a fun time in Colorado.
Nice.
So speaking of fun times. Light Yagami, man.
Yeah, he's having a real good. Spoilers for Death Note. He was having a very good time killing people with his Death Note.
Until he was subsequently killed with the Death Note.
So now that the plot synopsis is done, we're gonna talk about fucking Death Note, because the recording where we did talk about Death Note, it's gone.
Gone. So we did.
Whoosh!
We did.
I just really wanted to talk about it, so we recorded it before we even did the episode.
We did a live recording.
I am open to talking about it again. Death Note.
File got corrupted.
Yeah, Death Note, very good show. Yeah, L and Light Yagami are two of some of my favorite anime characters. As you will see on my mouth, On my Mal.
Yes.
They are two of some of my favorite characters.
We should link our Mal accounts.
Oh yeah, if anyone wants to see our impressions of different anime and get pissed off that I gave Golden Wind and Demon Slayer a 6. Yes.
And maybe see what we're covering next if we actually
if we ever get there.
Yeah.
And
but
yeah, L. He's
their
just
interactions.
so unique. Their interactions are what really make.
Their interactions are great.
It's what makes the so-called good part of Death Note good.
Right. I think
the good part of Death Note is synonymous with the part where L is not dead.
I was about to say, yeah. So, in my opinion, I don't think I personally, I know there are some people who would watch it because like they thought the actual plot of, you know, a high school kid getting a notebook and being able to kill people with it is interesting.
Well, it's one of those.
And I mean,
it's one of those anime that has like a premise that really It's like a One Punch Man, you know, where it's like he kills people with one punch, and the Death Note he kills people with the Death Notebook.
Yeah, I do think that's an interesting premise, but that's not necessarily why I watched it.
Yeah.
I think I watched it a lot because it's a very intelligent show in how they plan it out.
Yeah.
At least until, you know, towards the ending, but
see,
that was also intentional.
I don't understand like the shit. I still don't really get the part where Nier's like, I actually have the notebook the whole time. I don't know. I just didn't get it, but like that may just be.
I'm sure it has like.
I'm sure it makes sense.
Like a good logic. I just my brain wasn't large enough to understand that part.
Well, but even if it I'll say even if it is.
But no, yeah, I mean like I'm
even if it is like something that like I don't understand necessarily, I still think it's kind of unsatisfying that Nier was just like, yeah, but I had the real one, so you lose.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think it was sort of a rushed ending a little bit, and I'm sure it's probably something to do with, you know, like budget cuts with the manga, or I think the manga actually ends differently somehow.
The manga does have several key differences in the ending, but I think it's still the same, like I had the real Death Note all along kind of thing.
Okay. Well, I'm sure it had something to do with like time constraints or, you know, budget or something.
Yeah, possibly. But there are distinct. That is one thing I really liked about the ending is Light's death was just like super grueling, and like just the opposite of his character, how his character's been throughout the series. It's really nice to watch.
It was very sad because, like, going into the show, one wouldn't think that they could get sad over seeing a guy like this die.
Over Light, yeah.
People, you know, even if they are criminals, you have to consider like the morality of the fact that they are humans.
Yeah.
But you actually do become like, in my opinion, I was genuinely sad when he died.
I think it's because like you've known him for this many episodes, right? But also like B, the game's over. I mean, that's pretty much what Ryuk said. Like the game's run out, and it's like, oh, so I guess it's watching the show is quite literally like playing a game. Like it's just over now. Game over, Light. Like you died.
Right. Yeah, and I think the part that really got me at the ending, why it was so sad, was because like I think I read something somewhere about how that's the moment where he genuinely wishes he would not have picked up the Death Note.
Right.
You know, and you can sort of see that in like his face and, you know, how he's crying when he sees like his past self.
Right. So it's like, kind of almost like karma, because you can imagine like all those prisoners. Once Kira really became a name, you can imagine all those prisoners being like, "Oh man, I shouldn't have fucking done what I did. Now I'm a criminal. I should now I'm going to fucking die. Great. Now because I'm a criminal, Kira's targeted me. I shouldn't have done that crime or whatever." But I just think that logic is kind of bullshit.
It applies to him.
Yeah, it also applies to him too, which is why he's a hypocrite. But
right, yeah.
Because he's just as much of a criminal as them. That's why he's under criminal investigation.
Yeah.
Like I mean, and there's a whole philosophy, like there's a whole different moral issue about like the death penalty and shit. But you know.
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna address. Is that it seemed like this anime, and the manga as well. I'm sure before the anime came out. Um, it seemed like it sparked like a pretty big argument, and like the morality of it. Like, is this wrong?
Even within the
You know?
universe of the show, like people were talking
Right.
about
Even
the morality of Kira, and that's that. I mean, I think the strongest bond a show can make with you is an emotional one because that sticks with you for a long time. But a really good short time remedy, or like something where you think about it for a week or so, is a really good like intellectual or moral engagement that a show makes with you. Where you think about like, oh, is this guy fucking wrong? I don't know.
Is he bad?
Maybe I need to rethink my ideology or something. I'm not rethinking my ideology though. I don't personally support the death penalty, but that's just me.
Yeah, and then it makes you think, like, in this show, who is the antagonist and who is the protagonist?
Yeah, and that's I think that's what the like the people who are anti-Kira are trying to communicate. It's like there are no fucking protagonists or antagonists. There's people that do bad shit and get like punished for it, but not necessarily are given the ultimate punishment, which is death. Like
Yeah.
it's not one way or the other. Yeah. Although you could argue that people like what's his face Matsuda are kind of like black and white in their ideology beforehand. Or no, not Matsuda. Excuse me. No, Matsuda is actually kind of complex, to be honest, in his thinking. I'm thinking more like Light's dad, who like can't even think outside of his own. Like my son can't be Kira. What Kira's doing is wrong, and if you think otherwise, that's bullshit. Like that's a better example. I don't know why I've said fucking Matsuda. It might maybe because he's the archetypal like kind of naive character at first.
Well, no, yeah, I mean Masuda, I think you would expect him to be very black and white in his ideology until you actually like think about what he says.
Well, he's also just on the other side of the issue. Yeah.
I like how he sort of got his own episode, or he had a couple episodes on, where he got his own, where, there's that one episode where, and I before rewatching Death Note, because I had watched it once before, I think around like last September or something like that. Before rewatching, the scene where he has to jump off the balcony always stuck with me.
Yeah.
But I never remembered what show it was from.
Yeah,
I was like,
it was Death Note
before. But yeah, and then I realized it was Death Note, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I think the reason why that stuck with me was because you wouldn't exactly expect Matsuda, the sort of stereotypical, not necessarily stereotypical, but every anime has one of those. The naive or the stupid character. Well, but then you realize he's not the naive character.
No, he's not. In fact, he fucking shoots light because he's like, fuck you. You're
Yeah. I think
he does what he needs to do in that moment.
He's intentionally depicted as a naive character, but then you have to actually think about it and you realize Misa's a complete dumbass. and she
Misa's a wrench. Yeah, she's the most naive one, and she's a wrench in the whole thing. And that's that's why I kind of like the idea of her character.
Yeah, I shouldn't say she's a dumbass, but I think a lot of the time she's
driven by motives that aren't necessarily like the best chess move like Light or L would do or something, like she's more motivated by like her own personal shit.
Her and Light absolutely aren't driven by the same. Yeah. Her motive is literally to live with Light for the rest of their life. Yeah. And Light's motive half the time is just to kill Misa.
Yeah, like
and I mean I don't really know if like he actually ends up liking her towards the end or what, but
I don't think because I don't think he likes damn near like anyone because like even like he'll just manipulate anyone, like that one the girlfriend he used to have that becomes like his spokesperson. He just fucking has her kill herself. Like he does. Yeah. He will dispatch anyone if he needs to get ahead. He's not like he's a very manipulative person. I don't think he has too many close relationships. Like it's not even. I'm not even 100% sure if all of his emotions during the scene where his dad died were even genuine. Like
I think
that's ambiguous.
I think there are two genuine like positive relationships he had in his life. One of them is funny enough, L.
Yeah.
Which caused. I mean, like, you know, the thing is, I would say he and L are friends. He just doesn't realize that until after L is gone, and he starts to feel empty, which is like
But even
you always feel
L is using him like to some extent, like calling him his friend to make him like feel bad for him and shit. Like.
Yeah, true.
They'll both manipulate things to like, or I don't know if it was to make him feel bad for him, but someone said he was using him, but I forgot what it was for, and I was just like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
One of the cool things about Death Note is that the Death Note, the premise is it's an object. Like you can put it in so many different people's hands with so many different motives that it makes it really interesting. Like for example, Light, who has a very idealistic view of a world, justice, a world he wants to create where all the bad people die, only the good people live, and I might be the ruler of the good people. I don't know. And then you have then the Death Note goes into like that. I think it was called like Yotsuba. They go into like Yotsuba's hands. Yeah. Yotsuba's like a business. They're going to kill people.
A corporation.
Yeah, they're going to kill people as long as it boosts their profits or some shit. And then you have I read this manga, the Death Note one shot where it's this kid who does it for like who also does it for like money and shit, but like also does it, he also redistributes it like across Japan. Like he auctions it off. Trump. Yeah, he sells it to Donald Trump. And he redistributes all that money to the people of Japan, which is just like a better apology for Hiroshima than Donald Trump could have ever given, because I doubt he ever would.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Death Note is just a very interesting concept by itself. I also like the Shinigami. I like how they're just.
You mean just as a whole?
Yeah, as a whole, I like the Shinigami. I like how they're all different in certain ways. Like Ryuk's just a crazy motherfucker who just wants to have fun.
He just wants his goddamn apples.
His apples and his fun. Then you have Rem, who is like emotionally attached to a human, which is interesting. And then you have I forgot what's his face, but like the one that comes into what's his name, Lemo or something. Mellow. He comes into Mello's
and
base, and he's just
back?
like, I just want my Death Note back. I just like the Shinigami because they don't meddle like too much into what the humans are doing, but like they influence some shit too.
Well, I mean, like at the end of the day, they are gods.
They are gods.
That's sort of their purpose is just not to get super involved.
No, yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is I like how they're like down there in the fucking plot, but they're also not like
they're just along for the ride.
They're along for the ride, and they're just kind of like distant from all the affairs of humans, which is, I mean, that's just how they're portrayed. But
one thing that I really like in the show is like the very specific rules of the Death Note, because a lot of them are like I couldn't come up with anything like that, you know.
Yeah.
Like if you don't use the Death Note for a certain amount of time, you'll die, which that was a made up rule, but someone still made it up. Or
that's a fun element.
There's just like crazy rule, and even in I forget what it's called, but right before like where the commercial break would air, they would always show like a rule from the.
And I like how they started to get a little more like obscure with the rules near the end, where it's like there's no heaven or hell, it's nothingness.
Yeah, and then like half of those wouldn't even take place, but they were still rules, and someone still came up with them, and they were super unique.
That's one thing that the show likes to do, is plant these little these ideas and these details that don't ever have relevance to the plot, but it's cool because they're there. Like like Light's whole, that's like the first 1 million IQ play in the show is whenever Light reveals his drawer mechanism that he puts the Death Note in, and like it's gonna light on fire, someone fucking opens it,
explode or whatever.
Like that never comes up ever again. But it's just cool.
No, they never used it.
It's just a really cool idea. Like that was probably something the author just came up with, and it was just like, I don't fucking care if it ever comes up. I'm just gonna write it down. I just thought that I think that's a really cool element.
Right. I think a lot of complaints that I see from the show, other than the Nier and Mello arc, is how well, I guess this does take place during the Nier and Mello arc, is how Light at the end, they think he becomes stupid. And I don't think he becomes stupid, because you watch the show enough, and I think it's pretty clear that Light is extremely intelligent.
Yeah.
Like, he is a genius. It's just, I don't think he became dumb at the end. I think he just got too arrogant.
Yeah, very arrogant. He really thought he was building his kingdom by that point. Like he was telling that girl that she would be his fucking goddess, that guy would be his hand, and even that guy's melodramatic as shit with his delete. You know.
Oh, Mikami, I love Mikami.
I love Mikami too. He's one of my favorite parts of that entire arc. But
yeah,
I like his whole backstory. I like his I don't agree with his ideology, but I think it's like really cool.
Murdered his own mom.
He's murdered his mom.
Yeah, because she wasn't strong enough or something like that.
Or, no. He was like, one day justice was delivered. One of the bully crashed his car into who else but my mother, and it's like, what the fuck? You are not stable at all. And that's the thing. It's a bunch of unstable fucking people in this guy's kingdom. So that instability is obviously going to lead to its premature downfall.
Well, the thing is too, like, the only stable person is oh god, what's his name? It was one of the guys in or a few of the guys in the investigation. You know, Mazda clearly he's not super stable.
Yeah,
he's sort of crazy.
Yeah,
Light's dad, not only people on Light's side, but also like the investigators.
Yeah.
Light's dad, he sort of starts to go insane over the course of the show.
Yeah, like
and L, one could argue that he's more unstable than like everybody, other than Light.
I mean, yeah, like the way he conducts his investigations, which I mean do produce results, other than the Light case, but like,
but then again, you have to consider the morality.
Yeah, the morality of what exactly, and like
it's a very, and it makes you think.
Yeah, and like you could even question like why L was even still investigating Light after they busted that guy, like. Because Light was right. L wanted it to be Light, to be fair.
Yeah.
And it was Light, but like, I don't know if he ever really had the evidence to back that up.
Right. I think a lot of the time I call it the Breaking Bad of anime.
Yeah.
That's what I call Death Note a lot of the time.
I think I gave it like an 8 or a 9.
I gave it a 10 just because of how impressed so. Me personally, the way I rank, just because I gave it a 10 does not necessarily mean it's my favorite.
Yeah,
or it's one of my favorites. I'm just ranking it objectively.
Right,
how I think it is.
Not your favorite, but the best.
Yeah,
one of the best.
No, you can see our rankings
on
of all anime that we've ever covered.
Ever.
On my anime list. Ever. In existence.
Ever.
We've watched every anime.
In existence. Correct.
And exists all I don't know, probably 10,000.
Yeah, all but Caden still has yet to watch any shonen anime, so anyways, on the topic of Death Note though.
Oh, buddy.
Caden and I, before we watched the headliner for this episode,
yes,
we watched that was the night after actually.
No, it was the night after.
But we watched the live-action Death Note movie.
Death Note 2017. Not 2007.
No,
whatever.
Not the musical. Not the musical either. Okay.
Not the musical. We watched Netflix Death Note, baby.
Starring Nat Wolff.
Oh boy, let me tell you this.
Stanfield.
This one was it was interesting. It's quite interesting.
Yeah. L is black, so I'm giving it a 0 out of 10.
That's bad.
But okay, but honestly, seriously, I heard a lot of people complaining about that, and that's bullshit.
Look, Keith Steinfeld is awesome.
Yeah,
he's a very good actor.
He is a very good actor, and I think he does a good job here. You know what?
He does a good job with the script that he's given.
Yeah, I think his performance within those parameters are very good. Also, another really good part of the movie is Willem Dafoe as Ryuk. I think
that's one of the main things that held it together. Honestly.
Yeah, was Ryuk overall. Yeah.
And I mean, one cool thing that I read was that I'm pretty sure he actually watched Death Note, in preparation.
Oh, that's sick.
to learn
Willem
about.
Dafoe watches
Which
Death Note.
I always like to hear about mainstream celebrities
Watching anime.
actually watching anime because that gets me super. Keanu Reeves and Samuel L. Jackson are big anime fans and that sort of thing, and it
What did
always makes
Samuel
me
L.
happy
Jackson
to
say
hear.
that one time?
Oh, he said he watches hentai. Yeah.
Or Stanley from The Office. It's called hentai, and
It's
it's
called
art,
hentai. Yeah.
and it's art. But you know what? I'm gonna say it. It wasn't as bad.
It wasn't
It
bad.
wasn't that bad. Like I could conceivably rewatch it. It's not utter shit.
I've seen some unbearable movies in my time.
Oh
All right.
yes, believe me.
I've watched John Carter.
Believe you me.
I've watched the original Tron. Actually, no, I haven't. I got about 10 minutes through that movie and I turned that off.
Oh, the original. It paled in comparison to Legacy, huh?
Yeah, Legacy is just a masterpiece.
But
But this movie, I heard I
I've heard
originally
nothing but
watched
shit about it.
I originally watched this around when it came out. I think it was a few months after, and that was in 2017, long before I watched Death Note.
Yeah.
And so I watched this movie after hearing terrible things about it, and I was like, I don't think this is bad. Now, do I think it's worse after watching Death Note?
Yes.
Yes. But I still do not think it's bad.
It's
think
not terrible.
It's bearable.
You know what? Its main problem is that it is a I don't know.
It's America.
It's also it's in America. Okay. So here's the thing. I don't really have a problem with all the changes they made because it's kind of a different story. Altogether, it's kind of a different story.
Absolutely.
And I never think that faithfulness to the source material is like an important thing.
A
necessity. Yeah. If as long as it makes it makes sense within the context of the story, or if the changes don't suck, then I mean I'm fine with it, I guess. Right. I guess L being a little more unhinged in this one in retrospect of the actual show is disappointing, but this character is unstable, for sure.
Not necessarily the issue, but the thing with this one is that in the first Death Note, or in the original Death Note, the anime, L, he's not extremely emotional by any means whatsoever.
Yeah.
In this one, L is heavily emotionally driven. Especially when it comes to Watery dying.
Well, other than in the one episode where L lifts up his fucking hands and starts fucking screaming, but that's neither here nor there, you know.
Yeah.
But otherwise, he's an emotionless robot.
In this one depressed. Also, Light also actually has feelings.
Yeah. Okay. I think this is one good thing about the movie is that it's like
it has a lot of humanity.
Humanity, you know. I'm sorry, y'all. How Light and L act in the anime is not how people act in real fucking life. Okay.
Yeah.
And this kind of shit, people make mistakes, people fuck up, you know, and they don't have perfect responses to it every time, you know. The only relatable part to me, I guess, about Light and L is the whole mind games they were playing during tennis, where it's like, oh, if I win, then it'll look like.
If I do this,
then it'll look like I do this. But if I don't do it, then it'll look, that kind of shit. Like that. That's a pretty common thing to think about when you're playing a game or even just doing anything else, you know.
Right. I think that's probably the part that will sort of make or break this for a lot of people is that it's a lot more emotionally driven, whereas in the anime it's like everybody's trying to outsmart somebody,
right?
Whereas in this it's really just Light, and he recognizes that he's wrong and he's just trying to get out of it. He just wants to just get away.
Well, and I can even make the argument that Death Note is the result of suppressing your emotions in favor of an overall agenda or something, because Light fucking breaks down at the end and is the ultimate emotional fucking actor in that moment, you know.
Yeah.
So when he's on top, he can look like the fucking biggest brained boy. But once he's in that fucking warehouse, man, it's over.
Yeah.
It's over.
Honestly, I really like not really like, but I enjoyed the conclusion to the movie.
I thought it was pretty cool,
It
for
was
what they
all
were
planned
given.
out by Light.
Okay, here's one fucking problem is you take Death Note and you watch Death Note and then you watch this movie. This movie feels really fucking fast if you've seen the original Death Note.
Absolutely.
And that's the problem. It's I don't know how long it was, like hour 40 or something, hour 40, 2 hour long movie. Like you can't just compress the original structure of Death Note to a 2 hour movie like that. That's just
I think
can't do that.
a lot of anime, Death Note, Evangelion, you can't compress them into a movie.
Yeah.
That's why Evangelion, the rebuild movies are, that's why there are 4 of them.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why in the actual Japanese, like, Death Note live actions, there are 3 of them.
Yep.
I'm pretty like 2 or 3 of them.
Because it feels weird to just pull all that off in a span of 2 hours and have it feel natural. Like,
because there are a lot of details that go into it that make the show what it is.
Addressing both points we just made about the emotional actors and the and like the pacing in this movie. I mean, we get to
the pacing is a little iffy.
Well, and that's just because you've seen the original. That's partly because you've seen the original show, right?
Right. Yeah.
But also, it is just a fast-paced movie, and like, okay. So first of all, anyone who thinks that this Light is like the same person is obviously a fucking like.
Absolutely.
That's like, you get that he's not right whenever. First of all, Ryuk shows up. And like he screams like a bitch. He's different, anyone would scream like a bitch, But also, whenever the first thing he decides to do after he's killed his first criminal is to go show it to a fucking girl at school. This is Light Turner, not Light Yagami, okay?
Yeah.
But
this is a horny bastard, let me tell you.
Yes, but Light is not horny at all. I'm convinced that he hadn't. Never mind.
He has no penis.
Yes, he has no penis. I would not doubt it.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, addressing the 2 points. L confronts Light, also confronts Light like very quickly. Whereas like it's more of a slow burn kind of thing in the show. Or well, not necessarily slow, because he does literally just say, "I'm L." But that's just step 1 of the conversation. Their dynamics like kind of, change over, or not change over time, but like develop over time. But they fucking just go at it in this one diner scene, and it feels weird, but it's like in context of these characters, I suppose it makes sense.
That's one part that I love is just like you're watching it and it's like, okay, it's gonna be a while before the confrontation between Light and L and stuff, and then Light just plops himself down in the diner. He's like, "I know you're Kira,"
Yeah, he just no hesitation, and then like you expect it to be like a chill, like a conversation about like Light's deductive skills or something. Like you could come to the investigation and shit. He can chill, and he's just like, and they just start fucking yelling at each other. It's like, yeah, how can you compare this to the original, like at all? Like,
in the scene where, Light's dad like almost beats the shit out of L.
Yeah.
Where he comes in and he starts accusing them of or starts accusing Light of killing Watari, which I guess in a sense he did. But the thing is too in this is that Light has, like I said, a lot of human. He didn't mean to kill Watari.
Yeah.
He didn't mean to kill whatever the fuck her name, Mia.
No, yeah, he's not as willing to kill innocents as quickly as Yagami is.
Yeah, Yagami is just, he's like Giorno Giovanna type. You stand in my way, I'm gonna fucking murder you.
And you know what? Yeah, murder, that's all right. I can murder as many people as I want, but once they start selling drugs to kids, oh boy.
Oh no.
Oh boy. Selling drugs to adults?
Not in my town.
But selling drugs to kids, it's over. But
yeah.
But I mean, so okay, what do you think of Mia, like overall? as an element
And
in the
this
movie.
dude, Mia is Mia is Kita in this version.
I think that's kind of what they were going for. Not necessarily
Yeah.
like she's in his head type beat, but like she is kind of a living metaphor for like the Kira side of Light Turner.
Right. And I think that honestly, if she wasn't involved in it, Light'd be fine.
He'd be
chilling.
fine because he doesn't give
She
into
is-
that killing innocence instinct very quickly.
Yeah.
So
She is absolutely
she
sadistic.
fucked everything up, and
She's fucking insane.
I thought it was pretty okay that was the case.
Yeah.
Because
Mia
otherwise,
is a classic.
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say because otherwise. Here's another thing. I also just don't think like they can come up with these writers can come up with the same like 4 million IQ plays that the original Death Note writer could, and that's partly why
Yeah.
people didn't like it as much. But like I even think some of the plays that were in this were pretty cool. Like the whole
Yeah.
he falls off the fucking Ferris wheel and orders all these people to do shit as his paper falls into the fire. I thought that that was pretty cool.
And how he figures out that where L is from.
Yeah, no,
Even
that was
though-
cool.
That was one of the things that was all new, is that Watchery well, I guess Watchery dies in Death Note too, but Watchery dies with L.
Yeah.
And then also, L doesn't even die in this version, and I think it's sort of implied that he kills Light with the Death Note I don't know if, because it shows him like holding the Death Note.
Well, because then he realizes, or he
Yeah,
finally gets the clincher, the final piece of evidence, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was. I mean, I don't think it was very like above average at all, but like
It wasn't bad.
it wasn't terrible. It wasn't as terrible as people were saying. So overall, it was alright. I think I gave it like a 6 overall, because it's also a pretty. It's also a fairly entertaining movie. Like I'd watch it again.
Yeah, and I don't.
On some random ass day.
There's not a lot of movies that I'd say aren't entertaining.
Yeah, it's just a good fucking turn it on, fucking just sit there for an hour and a half.
Even if a movie's objectively bad, I could still be entertained by it. And I was entertained by this, but I also don't think it's bad.
There's plenty of shit ass movies out there that I love, that I will just literally be like, I really want to watch this movie right now. And that's the end of it. It's almost like a weird comfort. Like I don't know why, but shitty movies also almost like weirdly comfort me most of the time.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, Death Note and Death Note 2017.
One thing I want to say about Death Note 2017 before we sign off, I'm glad they went all out with the fucking gore on this one. Fuck yeah.
Yep.
They went all out. I was shocked.
The scene where the kid gets decapitated.
When that boy gets decapitated, I was like,
yeah.
All right, this is some good shit. This is
It's not even full decapitate. It's like half decapitation.
Yeah.
Like nose up.
And like all the detail, like there's so many detail. And that's the thing, like the original Death Note wasn't even necessarily that gory. So that was a whole new thing.
No, not at all.
So you could almost say it was heavily Americanized in that respect.
Yeah. The worst part, I think, of like gore-wise of the original Death Note was just when Matsuda fucking essentially kills Light.
Yeah, when Light's death, the goriest scene, right?
Yeah. But
yeah, on the subject of anime and anime related things again.
An anime related thing.
We got Darling in the Franxx, Trigger's very own Darling in the Franxx.
We said we'd do it last episode, and guess what, baby? We're fucking back, and we're doing it. So, Julius, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. So I watched this.
Yeah.
And then I requested that we
talk about
it. We wait a month.
Oh yeah, wait.
Just so that I could rewatch it, because originally I think we were gonna cover it last episode, but then I was like, no, I sort of want to rewatch it just to, see what it's all about. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Both times that I watched it, the ending, it made me cry like a little bitch.
Okay. I was gonna ask what part made you cry like a bitch.
Not even really like them dying, but spoilers for Darling in the Franxx. They die. The main characters, yeah, they're dead.
No, they're not.
But
They're babies now.
They
Well,
at
for
one
some
point were
reason.
dead. But mainly it was the part where it was the very ending where it showed all the characters like all grown up and stuff. But then they're going their separate ways, and they're like, I miss Keto and 02. And then it shows them as little fucking babies.
And like, so they were like reincarnated or something, and
So
in that tree.
the whole thing is that they were reincarnated, but like 1,000 years later.
Yeah, because that tree fucking grows and grows, and the city's developed as hell.
Yeah. But no, there's something. So I'll be honest before we jump like super far into this. A lot of people say that the ending isn't super good, and I can agree with them on that. I don't think the ending is anything super spectacular. It was kind of weird.
Kind of felt
But
like an Interstellar type beat.
Right. But I don't think the ending was bad at all. It was very strange and sort of weirdly put together, but I don't think it was bad at all. But even so, the rest of the show, in my opinion, is great.
Okay, so I wanna go back, and kind of just go through everything,
Right.
or not go through the entire plot, but like go through my thoughts on each of the things as the series progresses.
Yeah.
So okay, I will say this: Darling in the Franxx is a very likable cast of main characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like them all. Hero, I don't think I would like Hero as much if not for his backstory. I like his whole like helping other people and giving people names and shit. I like all that. And I like his whole I like how he went from that to being like, the only reason I live is to fucking fight at this point. And that whole
He's the opposite of Shinji.
Yeah, no, exactly. Where Shinji's like, I don't want that to be the only fucking reason. Hero's like, I've accepted it. This is the only reason. There are very clearly Evangelion inspired things in the show. By the way,
Oh, absolutely.
the whole city under the motherfucking thing. When 02 turned into whatever the big ass mech was called, was that Strelitzia or?
Yeah, Strelitzia
Yeah,
is
when
the name
she
of it.
literally turns into Strelitzia, I was like, "Oh, Ray type beat."
Uh-oh.
I was like, "What is up with these fucking mech anime and this fucking big ass women?
Yeah.
I don't understand."
It's strange.
But no, I like Hero. Hero's pretty cool. I like 02 because she's a very good character, and other reasons. But
See, boys, Julius is one of those guys who thinks 02 is a superior waifu.
yeah, sorry.
He's just not
Sorry, y'all.
correct.
Okay, I'm gonna get into a fucking debate with you. Why?
We've already done
No,
it.
no,
We've already gotten the debate.
no. Okay, why do you refute this claim?
Asuka's just so superior. It's just she's infinitely better.
Asuka will fucking divorce you at 40. Okay.
Listen.
02 will
All
be
right.
your darling forever.
02 isn't even my favorite girl in the show.
Forever.
She's not even my favorite girl. Miku is my favorite girl in the show.
I thought it was Ichigo. Quit switching up.
Ichigo is my second favorite.
Quit switching up. Why is it
listen, okay.
Oh, is it because Miku reminds you of Asuka? Is that why,
Sort of,
Kaden?
yeah. Okay, here's the thing though. So, the one thing that I do like about 02 is I've heard so many complaints about people. They're like, it's just Asuka. It's not just Asuka. All right, there's differences, and of course you have to have the tsundere in the show.
To be honest, I feel like Miku to me was one of the lower tier main characters because like she was kind of just a tsundere, not much else.
Yeah.
There's not much else to her.
Well, the main reason why I do like her is because I guess that is sort of tsundere-esque, but like, she acts like an asshole, but then in reality she like actually cares for everybody.
So Caden likes the cold exterior and the warm interior.
No,
this is
not what I'm
this
saying.
is what we're
Not what
gathering.
I'm
We're
saying.
gathering from this.
Yeah, you figured me out.
Yeah, no, but I mean Miku's fine. I like her enough. Like, I don't know. Okay. I'm gonna be, you. Here's one of my main criticisms of this show.
Uh-oh.
Ikuno got fucking shafted, dude.
Oh my
What
god,
the
yes,
fu-
dude.
She did
That's what
not
I was
do
gonna say.
anything.
Dude,
She
okay.
didn't do
So
anything.
they make sure all of the characters get their own little episodes, or
Yeah.
they get their own little arcs, except for fucking Ikuno.
Well, I mean,
dude,
okay,
you
but
know,
like Fujoshi, you could argue he didn't get his own episode, but like
he didn't get his own
he
episode,
had
but
a whole
also
arc.
like,
He had a whole arc though. That's the thing. He had a whole
yeah,
arc.
like Ikuno, she does nothing. The only thing that they do for her is they make her hair white. That's it.
And then she's like, "I'm a lesbian."
And that too.
I do appreciate the rep
was
in this show. I appreciate that Ikuno's a lesbian, and I
yeah.
appreciate that Mitsuru is maybe bi. Maybe I don't know. I
Yeah,
haven't
it's sort of
figured that
hinted
one
at.
out.
I don't know.
Or it may just be like extreme admiration for Hero. I'm not sure, but
Right.
But anyways, yeah, no, Ikuno. What the fuck did she do in this show?
Dude, they
She
ruined her.
she didn't do anything. She had so much potential. That backstory was interesting. The love that never was, and she held it in for all these years and finally exposed it to Ichigo in this incredibly uncomfortable but also emotional moment.
Okay, I'm
Nothing. They did nothing.
I'm gonna have to make a chart for you to put on the screen, where it's So hold on. So Hiro likes 02,
Yeah.
who also likes Hiro.
Oh, the love. Are you talking about the love
Ichigo.
dynamics?
Ichigo likes Hiro.
Goro
Goro
likes
likes
Ichigo.
Ichigo. All right. Futoshi and Mitsuru.
Did I say fucking Fujoshi? I feel like Fujoshi means something
I don't
real.
know.
Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. I
Oh,
may have to edit this out.
uh-oh.
I feel like Fujoshi means something
Uh-oh.
really bad. Hold on, I need to look this up.
Probably just means like fat or something.
Oh. Fujoshi's
What?
yaoi.
What?
Oh no.
What?
Fujoshi is yaoi.
Uh-oh.
Uh oh.
We're all good. That's
We're just gonna pass over that one, y'all.
Yeah. So Futoshi and Mitsuru like Kokoro.
Yeah.
Ikuno likes Ichigo. Dude, there's just so many people.
Miku and Zorome are like the only neutral
Miku
ones.
and Zorome. I think it's sort of implied that they like each other. But
Yeah.
they're just gonna chill.
Yeah.
It's just they're okay.
There's a lot of this. It's a big love shape. It's not even a triangle. It's just a shape.
Other than the love aspects of it all, I most of the time I would complain about there being so many characters because I don't like a whole lot of
A big cast.
arcs. Yeah, normally I like a pretty straightforward thing. Maybe there are some side quests along the way.
Yeah.
But for some reason, this show, it makes the characters work.
Yeah, despite the other than the ones that they quite literally like left behind.
Yeah.
Because they do put emphasis on some character. Like Ichigo is much more of a main character than like Miku is or something. But
right. Yeah.
About more about the characters. Futoshi, I think Futoshi's just wholesome 100. I like how he didn't.
What did you just say?
I was really wholesome 100.
Wholesome 100.
Wholesome 100 Chungus. Don't you know?
Keanu Reeves.
But no, I think Futoshi's. I was really scared they were gonna do a whole jealousy arc with him over Kokoro. Oh, I'm
really
so glad they didn't, and that he was happy for them. He was happy for them. It was wholesome 100.
The moment he was like, don't you talk to Kokoro like that. Sometimes some of the things that they say in this show just make me really just cringe.
Yeah.
But also it's well because that's what I always come back to is because like they just don't know better.
Yeah.
Like not a single one of them knew what a kiss was except for 02.
Okay, that's what I like about I like Zorome. I really like Zorome.
Yeah.
I like his idealistic view of everything, and it's like, well, if Papa said it, then it's whatever.
Hey man, when are we gonna become adults?
Yeah.
When we we gonna chill in the city?
And I like that he asks a lot of questions, especially in that one episode where we went to the old lady's house. You know, that was a pretty
Which
cool
honestly,
episode.
I still don't fully understand that. Like, why is it that they can't become adults? What if they just
Okay.
live to that age?
Okay, so here's another criticism I have with this show. They world build so much in the first
Oh,
like
absolutely.
I don't know how many episodes, like 20 or so like 15 to 20 episodes,
Yeah.
only for it to all be like pushed to the side. I don't understand that. Like there were so many different concepts that were never explored. And it's not in a cool way like Death Note, because with Death Note, the ideas are fully fleshed out, right? Like if you open up that fucking drawer, it's gonna catch on fire. That's the end of that idea. That's it. That's all
Yeah.
there is to it. But like, there's so many like different vague things. Like, why can't they become adults? Or
Yeah, that's
like, why are they in this fucking isolated place in the first place? Why are they getting their memories wiped? Like, it just all basically chalks up to generic bad guy. Like, we're going to make sure, which is also weird because they strive to, they almost do like they almost go to like an like they have this take like how they're anti, the heroes are like anti or the protagonists are like anti, like everything being peaceful all the time, and that there's got to be some struggle and shit. You know, there's
they're
got to be
communists. They're communists.
there can't
Everything's shared.
well that's what I thought. The idea was like it's more of like a communal thing where like everyone's equal, everyone's on an equal playing field, and like whereas like the humans are more like, nah bro, we gotta struggle, we gotta be,
Live for ourselves.
we gotta be individuals. Yeah. And so here's my problem with that is like, for the most part in this show, like they do go through some turbulent times. However, most of the times there are like zero consequence to any of them.
Right,
Like there's
yeah.
no, it's really neatly tied bow. The only one who ends up suffering any consequences are Ikuno. Just Ikuno. Ikuno gets shafted again. She dies. She dies. For what?
What?
For what?
She dies?
I think it's implied that she's gonna die.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
yeah, because she's been like poisoned or whatever.
So she's the only one that gets any like consequence whatsoever, and she didn't even have a character. She didn't.
No, hold on. What the fuck are you talking about? The two main characters died.
No, but it's all right because they came back to be reincarnated to be happy ever after. No reincarnation for Ikuno. She just fucking dies and goes to nothingness.
I'm sure she'll get reincarnated.
No,
it's Japan. They all get
no
reincarnated.
heaven or hell, just nothingness for Ikuno.
She used the Death Note.
Maybe, I don't know, but like, there's no consequences to like what Mitsuru and Kokoro did. Like, they just got their memories wiped, and it's like they just have the baby, and that's it. And they raise the baby, and they Earth becomes good again, and it's just...
You can't blame a bunch of 16-year-olds for having sex, though. Come on, man.
Wait, I never blamed them for that. I'm just saying, like,
yeah, I get what you're saying.
It was extremely straightforward.
Okay.
It was extremely straightforward, and it was like,
I think
disappointing.
I think the reason why there was no consequences of them doing that is because there would have been if they would have known that Kokodo was pregnant. But then, like, their whole society collapsed, so they were just like, it's okay.
Okay, so
let's just rebuild it. Like,
okay, yeah, but this is what I'm saying is like, that was not the right way to go. They should have kept on going with the world that they had. Instead, they quite literally destroyed the world that they were building in the first 15 to 20 episodes.
Here's the thing.
For some
Here's the thing.
antagonist that like I was generic and I had no like investment in at all.
My favorite episode is the one like right after it's revealed that the god people, Papa and the boys.
Yeah, Papa and the boys.
Are Verm. Yeah, Papa and the boys are Verm. My favorite episode is the one right after that where it's like they're all farming and like it's like, what's going on? Because this might be a hot take, all right? But I really like the world after that.
Okay.
I like how it's
the world is cool, right? But it just feels like someone's fanfiction AU if everything like...
Yeah. I get where you're coming from. I don't know. I feel like even if they built up the world, I feel like they sort of built it up so that it would be destroyed. And the reason why they don't give answers to a lot of the things is because at that point it doesn't really matter anymore.
But I think that's so bullshit. They had such a fascinating world that they were building up. Okay.
I didn't give a fuck about their world.
Here is okay. I guess that's just a personal disagreement.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I was interested to see where all the answers were leading. But like, it's a fucking problem. When Verm shows up, that's the first time I ever hear that term. Ever. Like,
yeah, no,
they took the good and the bad from Evangelion. Well, not the the best of Evangelion, but like they took good elements, good world building elements from Evangelion, but they also took the absolute shit worst ones, like how they fucking just all these convoluted different factions and like different species and planets, and like it's Here's the thing. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. Maybe I was not paying attention throughout this entire destruction of the world, but I still don't understand Verm, and I don't care about Verm. That's the thing. I don't give a fuck about Verm.
That's the reason why people say the ending is bad, is because nobody knows.
Okay. And here's the thing.
I think.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You can go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, I think. So I really hope that they make a season 2, because I guarantee you, if they make a season 2, it will be cleared up, and they sort of set it up for a season 2. It's just that
I just don't know what's
people are like,
in season
it's not
2.
gonna. Yeah, because they sort of fucked themselves in the ass on the reincarnation.
Yeah, they kind of did.
If you make a season 2, it's either you have a season 2 but with new main characters, where Hito and 02 are gone, which, honest to God, I kind of prefer that option over. It's only Hero and 02 in like perfect world.
Here's another one of my big criticisms is the fact that they repeat emotional beats so many goddamn times. Okay. There's just one in particular that I have. How many fucking scenes in this show are there of there being a big climax, but it just ends up with 02 and Hero saying, "I love you." Like, "Oh, I love you so much. Our love can destroy anything." And they fucking destroy anything in their way. I fucking hate that shit. What?
That's the reason. That's the reason.
It just repeats. It's the same emotional beat over and over again. But
that's the reason why they're not my favorite characters. Because
I agree.
I don't hate them by any means.
No,
there's
not me either. I actually like their backstory. I really like their backstory.
Yeah, their backstory is good, but what happens in the present, it's just it's dry.
It's them reaffirming their love for each other over and over again with these big climaxes.
Yeah,
it's just an easy answer to defeat the big bad.
Right, and I think that. But the thing is, too, they give more emotion, not necessarily more emotion, but a whole lot more character to the relationships of the other characters who aren't the main characters.
Yeah, exactly. And
like, I think the Ichigo and Goro and Hiro situation is a whole lot more interesting to me personally than the Hito and the 02 situation.
No, for sure. I like Goro's whole being honest about his feelings. You know, he's a chill he's a chill guy. I like him, you know. I like to, go out with him for a cold one time maybe.
Goro seems like the kind of guy
a cold Coke,
he'll buy you a cold
beverage.
A cold beverage that may or may not contain alcohol.
Okay, here's another thing. I really like the character shit. I really like the characters and their relationships and shit. There was one episode in particular, I don't remember who it was. I think it was it was Mitsuru and Kokoro, like the first time they ever paired together. I really like that episode. I really like the interactions they have in that episode. I like their whole dynamic in that episode.
I think that was the boys versus girls episode.
Yeah, that was. I really like.
Where they meet up in the greenhouse.
Yeah, I really like their whole relationship in that episode. It was either them or Goro and Ichigo. I can't remember.
Yeah,
I love that shit. But like, meanwhile, it's just stuffed with mecha action that I don't give a fucking shit about. Like,
Okay.
just kill the fucking monsters, and then 02's gonna come in and kill them all with the power of love.
I'm gonna keep it real.
Alright, keep it real with me.
The mecha part of this, it's
shit.
It's not good.
It's shit.
It's just good.
Look, I'm against like writing off genres as a whole because like I think it's a matter of execution and not necessarily premise. Like I'm not gonna say I don't like mecha anime because I'm sure there's some amazing mecha anime where I enjoy the mecha action. But like it's just the most bland thing ever, and it always ends up being the same thing. Strelitzia comes in and kills them. That's it.
Right.
So everything before didn't even fucking matter.
It's always the team isn't good enough, and then Strelitzia gets there and it goes Super Saiyan, but another level. It's like they reach the final form, and there's another final form.
Yeah.
And like, okay, so for me, this has ended up being like in my top 5 personal
favorites.
Okay. Yeah.
I can see even I kind of want to go back. I would go back and rewatch episodes. For sure. I would.
But the reason why for me is absolutely the reason why I was so hooked on it was because the bad parts of the character relationships, they were bad. But the good parts of the character relationships were very good.
They were very good.
They were excellently done.
And even if they were things I'd seen before, they were just interesting to me. I thought
it was very intriguing.
I thought the relationships were just intriguing.
Especially because a lot of the stuff that they did, like I would have never expected. Kokoto and Mitsuru having a baby. You show me this show, like for the first time, I would have never ever.
Because Mitsuru is like a whole different character at the beginning. He's kind of like the cocky asshole guy,
Yeah.
And then he's quickly revealed to be the opposite.
And then towards the ending, he's like, "I love you, and I want to have a peaceful life."
Put a baby in you.
And then he does, dude.
Yeah, bro. They have 4 babies, dude. They
Man gets laid.
Yeah.
4 times.
Yeah, 4 times.
Yeah.
9 times. Anyways,
but
okay. So I guess my problem with this show overall is the destruction shit. Once it gets there, it really brings down that reading for me. But here's the thing, like that's kind of typical of Trigger to do, anyways. Like the big fucking holy shit moment where it's like, oh, everything's the big twist, everything's fucking destroyed and shit. But it's like, that doesn't work in this kind of show because this show has like slowly built up everything, whereas Kill la Kill is fucking wild. So you could expect a twist at least,
It's crazy.
It's wild.
Well, the thing is, Kill la Kill doesn't seem like the type of show that would have a good twist. But that's
exactly
like the best twist I've ever seen.
It itself is very straightforward in the beginning. It doesn't try to be vague about anything like Darling in the Franxx is, but like that's what makes the twist super cool. It's like, oh shit, I was not expecting that. Like,
yeah.
But
I think one of the biggest comparisons that you could do with Darling in the Franxx and Evangelion, because obviously, it very clearly, I don't want to say it rips off Evangelion anyway, because it doesn't.
Borrows some concepts.
Original. It takes a lot of inspiration from Evangelion.
Yeah.
But I think one of the big things, and I've said this before, is that like, where Evangelion is sort of like a cult, the world that they build in this is like a religion.
A straight up, which
they like
you could argue are the same thing, but atheism jokes. Y'all like them? Y'all like them?
But
anyways,
I just even so, I don't mind the world that they build before and after, like the big twist.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I really like the episode after it's revealed that Verm is a thing, because I'm sort of a sucker for like when everything comes together.
Yeah, everything converges, right?
Yeah, like the Avengers Endgame type thing.
The Endgame.
The
Endgame basically.
All the characters meet up and they're like, "Hey, what's going on? We're gonna go out and do this,"
Yo, what's going on, guys?
what's her name? Nana and Hachi. They're there. She's in a wheelchair.
Okay, I actually kind of like their characters. I just wish they had a little more screen time, to be honest.
They should have.
I think they should have had a little more screen time.
They hinted at their backgrounds, but then they never told us anything.
That's the fucking problem with this show. They lead you in with these little vague hints, and they fucking pull it out from the rug, but not in a cool and satisfying way.
And then, like, there's the nines. And so, the thing with the nines, I was going to ask you about them.
Oh, yeah.
You fucking hate them at the beginning.
Yeah, you do.
What do you think at towards the end, when they're all, like, about to die?
I was kind of indifferent to them. They didn't stand out to me.
I think they redeemed themselves for me. I ended up actually genuinely liking them. Because at the beginning, they're all cocky bastards, and they're just like...
We're better than you.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're in their little false British accents or whatever.
Fucking Midoriya out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of indifferent when they died, though. I thought the main one was cool though, 9A or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
I thought his whole character.
I mean, that's a lot of the time what I mean when I say the nines.
Yeah, because none of the rest of them aren't really characters.
Well, the thing is too, one of them when the first one dies, they're literally like eaten.
Yeah.
Or like split apart limb for limb.
Yeah, it's the Evangelion type beat.
This show is dark.
It is. It gets pretty dark for sure.
I realized that at first when Papa makes the entire squad of one of the other plantations literally blow themselves up.
Yeah, or like 02 getting.
Now you're gonna kill yourself.
02 getting like getting put through all the tests. Yeah, tortured and shit. It gets pretty dark.
In this show, there's some things that they don't execute well.
Yeah.
But for me personally, when they execute it well, a lot of the time they execute it very well.
Yeah. I think overall, I haven't given it a score on Mal yet. I think I'm leaning towards like a 7 just because of that like rewatch factor. You know,
Right.
I probably will go back to this show. I think I'm gonna give it a 7 though, for sure.
Dude, I gave it a 9. I'm pretty sure.
9.
That's a little high now that I think about it. But honestly, like, I love this show.
Let me tell.
And I think one of the main reason why I like a show is because not necessarily because it's intellectual or anything, but because it emotionally grabs me.
That's strong.
And this show,
a piece of fiction can make.
This show emotionally grabbed me, I think, more than any other show.
And that's fucking awesome.
Other than maybe Evangelion.
That's the best experience to emotionally connect with a show like that.
Yeah.
But yeah. You know what's above a 7 out of 10 though is these fucking openings, dude. Holy shit.
Okay. The openings are.
I think I like the first one a little more. But the second one grew on me way.
Yeah.
The visuals
even though it's like the same
amazing.
song.
Hero reaching out. That's fucking.
They're all reaching out.
Yeah, I especially like the part when the builds up to like the climax of the song. I really like that. And also the first one's red and the second one's blue. It's pretty crazy.
I enjoyed it.
It's
very much.
I really like the two of it. The song's also a banger. Song goes pretty hard.
The song is a banger.
The endings are pretty cool too. Like pretty high quality endings. You know, it's kind of an AU. The first one's kind of an AU where they're like city girls.
I really like all the openings and how each one of them are. Number one, there are 6 openings.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
For 24 episode show.
Also, a lot of the time it'll show them like in the real world, and I like that. How it sort of hints at like, oh, this is a thing that could be happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with all the problems, I think the first season might be able to redeem itself if they make a second season and it's all explained.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I think if they explained it in the second season, that would make the first one's problems a lot less of necessarily.
I just wonder what they would even do because, like, man, they went hard. They went hard for the first season with the stakes and shit. Like,
yeah, it was all or nothing on the first season.
Oh yeah, well, and it's an original because I think Trigger only does like anime originals. They don't adapt from manga, so I think that's pretty cool. But
also the reason why I don't have my height or my hopes up super high is because it was like 3 different companies who did
Oh,
it.
yeah, it would take a lot, right?
Well, actually, at this point, it's 2 because when it started, it was Trigger, A1, and Cloverworks.
Yeah.
But I think during the production, Cloverworks got I don't know the word, inducted into A1.
It's A1. Oh, okay. Well,
So now it's just Trigger and A1.
and
And I
with the COVIDs, it's
yeah.
very hard.
So let's hope
Let
that
us hope
there's a second
that it can be
season and
fucking
it's
redeemed for me.
yep. Yeah.
Uh,
That is Darling in the
that is
Franxx.
Darling in the Franxx, and
The
for our
anime.
last, or possibly last,
Maybe last, I don't know.
maybe, anime topic, we have. Hold on, I want to give the full title. What the fuck is the full title?
You're gonna have to say some crazy Japanese words.
I'm probably gonna.
Something deja vu.
Steins Gate, the movie, Load Region of Deja Vu,
Yep.
directed by Kanji Wakabayashi. I don't know who that is, but
I
anyway.
don't know who that. I assume that's probably Steins Gate director.
Man, I didn't know how much I missed the Steins Gate characters.
Yep.
It had been a while. It had been I guess 2 months.
Couple months.
Couple
Yeah.
months since I'd seen Zero. And I just got a fucking wave of nostalgia as this 2 month
Oh yeah.
nostalgia as soon as this movie started. Like I really love all these characters, and it was really nice to see them again, and in the actual fucking world line where the original one.
Yeah. So this takes place in, I guess, what's now considered as non-canon with the creation of Zero.
Well, I think
I consider it to still be out
well,
there.
I don't. I think they're all canon.
Not non-canon, but it's a different world line.
Mm.
Or I guess
any of them could technically. Yeah, canon.
Yeah. So it's the world line where it's the original ending of Steins Gate, where Okabe ends up saving Kotosu. And you know what? Okabe's fucking gone.
Dude, okay, yeah. So this is one thing about the ending that I failed to see is like, yeah, oh my god, this is so satisfying. It's so perfect. Everyone's back. Hooray. And then I was like, oh yeah. He probably has like severe PTSD from
He's
seeing
probably
his
mentally
friend
scarred.
die like
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands of times. Like it's almost like the original anime kind of glosses over it. It doesn't gloss over it, but like there's not enough time to cover any of that, right? Because you just gotta end it right there. But like I think they cover it really well in this movie because you're like excited, right? You're like, yes, Kurisu and Okabe are finally going to get together. And it's gonna be perfect, and they're gonna get married and have children, and it's gonna be amazing. And it's like, no, it's a lot more complicated than that. She doesn't even fucking know about this world line shit, and he just dropped it all on her in Vegas. Like,
I think that's a very sad part of it was how he was the only person who knew, and then Kotosu experienced it like herself.
Yeah, no, yeah, that was cool to not have Okabe be like the lead,
the main character. Yeah, he was.
We didn't have a lot. More so towards the second half, we didn't have a whole lot of Kurisu throughout it. So I'm glad that she actually led this time instead of Okabe. And there's some there's some sad drama in here. She doesn't want him to fucking disappear, but he's like, I saved y'all. That's all. That's all that matters.
Alone.
Yeah, leave me
alone.
Get
the fuck out of my life.
And that's just the movie's just very good. It's very good, and it kind of I guess the climax of the movie is like whenever she goes to meet child him to create the character of Hoing Kyoma.
Holza Misato Katsuragi.
Yeah, she does.
And
she does engage in a little bit of that, but over in Japan that might be a little less stigmatized. I don't know.
It's all good over
I don't
there.
know how old he was at that point, but hey, it doesn't.
I think it
doesn't
said
matter,
he was like
right,
15
boys?
or 16.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a lot less stigmatized, I'm sure, than over here or some shit.
Imagine Makise Kotosu coming from the future and kissing you in front of a train. That's wild.
Imagine. jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing that I
just-
do definitely like about it is that it's its own self-contained story. You know,
Yeah.
obviously it picks back up off of the back of the original Steins Gate, but like you could honestly, I wouldn't recommend it,
Yeah,
but
because
like
you have less emotional
could-
attachment.
you could watch the movie without having watched the original and know what's going
And
on.
still have it be like a fairly like easily
Yeah.
followable movie. You know what? Yeah, it's good. It's good. That's all there is to it for me. But like
It's a
I
good
have
movie.
no problems with it whatsoever.
No, yeah, I think it's a good, decent little
I don't
little
think that
watch.
one's on my mal either. I think I'd probably give it 8 or something.
I gave it an 8. Yeah.
All right. It's time. Oh wait, actually,
It's main event time.
wait. But before the main event, do you wanna talk about what you told me you wanted to talk
The
about
show?
before?
The show?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So,
Alright.
well, I watched a couple of shows
A
recently.
pre-game show.
Yeah. So, just real quick, I know I talked about it on like our second or third episode or something, but I decided to finish out my rewatch little series. I rewatched Soul Eater. That was good. Rewatched Death Note, which then inspired Julius to watch Death Note.
Yes.
And then I rewatched Cowboy Bebop. So this anime, in my opinion, is one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
And
You amended your rating to a 10.
I did. I changed my rating to a 10 on my anime list.
What was it originally? It was like a 9.
Originally it was a 9 or it was a 9, yeah. But I changed it after seeing I think it's the 12th or 13th episode. And I realized how so with this show, this is one of those shows where it can be beautiful when it wants to, but it saves those moments for when you really need it.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so impactful. Because there are two-parters, 2 episodes. And one of them is episodes I think 12 and 13, so right around the middle. And then the other 2 are the last 2 episodes. In episode 13, it's Jupiter Jazz Part 2.
Oh yeah.
And that's my favorite episode because, normally each episode is self-contained. But those episodes, it goes very far back into Spike's past.
Oh yeah.
And
is that the one with is that the church scene?
no, the church scene's actually like
Before.
relatively early on.
Oh, okay. That was the only
Yeah,
scene
it's
I ever
like-
saw of his past.
Yeah, well, the church scene is good too, and I think what really gets me hooked is when it goes into, Jet or Faye or Spike's past, because, with Spike, it's like he faked his death to get out of the Syndicate.
Yeah.
With Faye, it's like she was born in the 90s, but then she was cryogenically frozen.
Oh shit! I didn't even know that.
Yeah, well, that's not really a spoiler.
Oh
but-
no, I was saying that was interesting.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, with Jet, it's like his girlfriend abandoned him.
Only
or
90s
whatever.
kids will understand this.
Only 90s kids will understand. And it took a lot of inspiration from Westerns.
Yeah.
I think I read somewhere it took inspiration from Quentin Tarantino.
Took a lot of
too.
inspiration from a lot of shit, like
Yeah.
jazz,
Oh, absolutely, yeah. When it aired in Japan, it was not popular
Yeah,
at all.
it was more so
Even
a Western kind of show.
Even still, it's not very popular at all. But that's what gave like voice actors like Steve Bloom. He's still popular, and I didn't even realize this. I started playing Valorant the other day. He voices a character in Valorant.
Yeah.
And he was voice acting in like the 90s, and that's crazy to me that he's still going and he loves this character. And the characters in the show are like some of the most loved in any anime.
Yeah. I think I think I remember my favorite being what's her face? Like Eddie.
Ed?
Yeah, Ed.
Ed?
Ed.
Have you haven't seen her before, have you?
I think I watched the very first episode where they introduce her.
Ed is She's not introduced at like the very beginning though.
No, she's not. It's like maybe 10 episodes in, like 5. 10.
Oh, so you just watched that one individual episode?
No, I think I watched all the way to like episode like 10.
Oh, okay.
I
I didn't
think
even
the
know that
last
you watched
episode I
it.
watched was where it showed the dude with the boobs.
So that is Jupiter
Oh
Ghost.
yeah, no, I don't even know that person's gender though, to be honest.
It's a guy, but basically his story is he meets up with Faye, but also he was friends with Spike's ex-girlfriend. Who, he had to fake his death, and he had to leave her behind. But basically his story is that like he was in the military and he was accused of I forget the word. Abandoning his troop.
Yeah.
And he was a deserter essentially, or he was accused of it. He didn't really.
Yeah, no, yeah.
And so he was kicked out of the military, and also they started doing like experiments on him, because I think he was like classified as insane or something, even though he wasn't really. And I guess that made his hormones go like crazy.
Oh, okay.
But no, it's a very interesting show, and it's very well done, and they really know how to use the right emotions at the right time.
I may have to give it a watch. I remember very select episodes where like the one where like Spike has to exterminate something that got on the ship or whatever.
Yeah. There's
like
there's like
the alien-esque episode.
Yeah, there's like funny episodes. A lot of it's comedy based,
Yeah.
but then a lot of it's like very serious, and they know when to be funny and they know like when not to be.
Well, that's good.
But yeah, I think that's a very good show.
All right,
and
you want
then
to talk about your other show?
Yeah, so the show I'm watching right now is Konosuba.
Probably talk about it fully in the next episode.
Yeah, I didn't know if you were planning on watching it.
I think I will. Yeah, it's 20 episodes.
Konosuba, God's blessing on this wonderful world.
Wonderful
I think
world.
It's wonderful.
Oh, we have movies to watch too. So we got content.
Oh, the Konosuba
Yeah,
movies.
the movies.
Yeah. But no, I'm 8 episodes through the first season. There's 10. There's 10 episodes, and I don't have a whole lot to say about it other than it's good.
It's good.
It's very good. I didn't expect it to be as comedy based. I didn't know it was super comedy based, but I have no complaints there. Like normally comedy based anime, they've never like really appealed to me, but this one it's genuinely very funny.
Yeah, I've been looking for a good comedy anime,
This is good.
I don't delve too deeply into like isekai. I think the only isekai I've actually watched is what's it called? Sword Art Online.
Yeah.
I think I watched that show like years ago. I was like 10 and I loved it.
Nice.
I think it was like my second anime ever after like Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. But no, it's Konosuba.
Yeah, I gotta watch that one. And I wanted to watch ReZero.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about that one too. Yeah,
a lot of good things.
Where Subaru the main isn't? That's the main. Yeah,
Subaru do be the main character.
All I've heard about that show is just Subaru just goes through just infinite turmoil.
Yeah, just constant peril.
Yeah, just pain. But no, yeah, Konosuba. It's a good show. Well, one funny thing with that is I don't know why they do that, but at least minimum 5 times every episode they flash like the Konosuba logo in some form or fashion, and then they have like the voice actors say Konosuba in some form.
What the fuck?
There are 4 main characters, so sometimes one of them will say a vowel.
Yeah.
Sometimes one of them will scream it in the context of what's happening in the show. Sometimes one of them will be crying while saying it.
I guess it's really weird. It adds to the comedy, I guess.
But I love how they do it. They do something similar in Initial D, where before the commercial break, they have each individual voice actor.
Yeah. Well,
Initial D.
I like the eye catches where they say shit like in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Literally every time it goes to commercial, like, Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah, the same thing for.
Okay, I know I'm watching.
But no, yeah, it's very funny. A lot of sex jokes. That's for sure.
Hey guys,
a whole lot of sex jokes. Yep.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, boys. It's time.
Now
To
it's main
begin
event time.
our exodus through the Fast and the Furious. Okay, now granted, we did watch Better Luck Tomorrow. That was it's not technically
I completely forgot about
in the
that. Yep.
saga. The
Okay.
saga begins with the Fast and the Furious, not to be confused with Fast and the Furious. Or is it Fast and the Furious? Or
Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious, which is the fourth one.
Yeah. Okay, so from now on, we have to call this based off of how. So we did a commentary.
We did.
That will be uploaded. Not too long after we upload this. And I think we're going to
check it out, sync it up. To
from now on, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a normal episode like this.
Yeah.
But then also we'll have a commentary where we watch it live and then we just talk about it while watching it.
It's like you're watching the movie.
It's like we're watching the movie with us.
Like we're your best
friend. Enjoy it. You're two best pals. Maybe we're chilling, sharing a brewski with you. Just chilling on the couch.
Yeah, we're gonna do that with all 9 install. I guess, well, not all 9.
We can't record in the movie theater.
We can't be doing that, but all 8, we will be doing commentary tracks to complement the episode. So yeah, I expect the first one like a week after this episode.
Yeah, probably. I'm having a lot of fun. I guess from now on I'm gonna be editing the commentaries, and I've had a lot of fun editing this one.
Yeah.
So yeah, just go and watch that when that comes out.
Right.
I'd say a week.
It's okay. So I'm kind of okay. First, just before we talk about the Fast and Furious, I'm kind of scared. I don't know how Fast 9 is gonna pan out. To be honest, we may end up doing Fast 9 like months after we've actually done all the movies. I don't give a shit at this point. I still want to watch them all, but like
we might have to wait for a while.
We'll probably wait for a while.
We have an extra month just in case it gets delayed an extra month.
Yep.
We have Hobbs and Shaw. So
oh shit! I forgot about Hobbs. I'm so excited to watch Hobbs and.
Oh my god!
Genetically modified Idris Elba.
I could have watched it on the road trip up, but I was like, no, I'm gonna save this.
Yes, I'm so excited. The commentary track on that one's.
So based off of how we've edited, or how I've edited the commentary, from henceforth, the name of the series will be the Fast and Furious Retrospective.
Yeah, boys.
Welcome to the Fast and Furious Retrospective segment.
I'll put some I'll put some fucking car noises over the podcast. Just for the effect. So yeah, the Fast and the Furious. The 2001 installment starring Paul Walker, Vin Diesel, and some other people.
Michelle
Rodriguez.
Vince.
Damn it, what's the
Hector?
Yeah, Hector.
Ja
Rule. Ja Rule's in it.
Ja Rule's in
it. No!
Monica!
I had a really good time with this movie.
It's so early.
I used to think this movie was kind of shit.
It is.
I'm not saying it's not, but I'm saying I thought it was shit and that it was boring.
Here's the thing. Okay, not that it's shit. It's not good, but it's such an enjoyable watch.
Yeah, it's schlock. It's straight schlock.
It's so entertaining to watch.
It really, especially if you have a friend. Oh my god, it's
absolutely, yeah. It's so entertaining.
It's there's so many there's intentionally funny scenes. There's unintentionally funny scenes.
Yeah.
One moment in particular that keeps on playing back in my head is Vince coming up to the cookout after he drove off. After he drove off in anger. There's just so many good moments in this.
Oh, I didn't edit that part.
And there's genuinely good like action in this. There's genuinely good like schlocky.
Yeah.
So there's good schlocky moments, right? Like there's I fucking love the part when the dudes come back, they like leave on their motorcycle.
Oh.
The gang leaves on their motorcycles and they come back and just shoot the car with their Uzis until it fucking and Vin Diesel's like the Nas and it just fucking blows up like it's GTA. Yeah.
I know.
Or like just the entire scene where they're chasing the dudes on the motorcycles and just fucking start murdering them. just literally just murdering them.
He literally e-brakes his car in the middle of the road and just shoots him.
Yeah,
he's dead. Like he's actually just dead.
But then there's like, I think the truck scene is like genuinely good.
Yeah.
But, like,
well, okay.
First of all, the fucking truck drivers in this movie, holy shit, dude, they're ruthless.
They're armed to the bone.
They are just they will.
They're really mad about their Panasonic TV.
So the backbone of the whole reason Paul Walker's an undercover cop, and he's working on this fucking case, trying to see if Vin Diesel's in any way fucking connected to this mass theft of Panasonic DVD players.
It's the best plot of all time.
And here's the funny part about that is like that doesn't get treated like a small time like offense either. Like they send SWAT teams to the guy behind it all. I forgot his name. His
Johnny
Tran's house, and fucking
not only that, but to like just some random Chinese restaurant.
Just some random Chinese, like they do straight up
random restaurant.
They SWAT these for the Panasonic DVD player. Like these people are not messing around with their DVD players. They will protect them with their life.
They're really mad about those Panasonic TV players.
We mentioned in the commentary, like I guess like they're just like the backbone of the economy, or like the
I guess
like the Californian economy.
Panasonic runs this country. Let me tell you.
They do, man.
It's the greatest plot of all time. And it's so outlandish, and it works.
So
somehow it works.
Do you think, watching this movie without knowing anything, that you would know that Paul Walker's a cop? Do you think you'd catch that before it's revealed?
Yeah, because before it's revealed. No, I wouldn't. Okay. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't even.
I don't think I would either. I think right beforehand I would start to, like where they pull him over and bring him over to some random house, or the house they're posted up at. Dude, this movie's just so fun. Like, it's so fun that they have like house party scenes, like intermissions, or like cookouts is the fast house intermission. They're like straight up intermissions in the movie to like slow down from all the fast paced action and racing.
It's literally like the equivalent of like a bathroom break.
It is.
In the movie.
It's.
Oh God, the best line of this movie is, Vince, there was a time when I didn't know you.
So
I was in the third grade.
So this guy Vince, he's part of the crew. He's part of the fast crew, part of Vin's crew, or Dom's crew.
He's a little jealous.
Dominic Toretto, played by Vin Diesel, and he's a little jealous. He's a little jealous, and he's wearing this Brian guy, Paul Walker,
Brian character,
and they're having like an argument at the house party, and Vin Diesel's like, there was a time when I didn't know you. And he's like, Vince replies like, that was in the third grade, you idiot.
Third grade.
Because the reason why that scene is so funny to me is just the delivery that Vin Diesel like he thinks he's bringing up like a legitimately good point to the table, and Vince is like, you fucking idiot.
The idea that like Dom just genuinely isn't very smart.
Dom is a little dumb, but
I mean, he is. He makes some really big brain plays in this. But just that idea.
But he's like, I feel like he's doing some pretty good intimidation in this movie.
Oh
like
God.
I like
he
steps out of the shadoos. I think it's
my turn up on the Xbox.
I think it's really good whenever he whenever Brian's like, hey, yo, can we get a medic? Yeah, I'm or he says some shit like, I'm Officer Brian or some shit. I don't remember.
I'm Brian O'Connor.
Yeah, I'm Brian. Yeah, and he just gives him like most intense.
He looks at him like he's about to murder somebody.
And then a few minutes later, shows up out of his garage with a fucking bloody ass shirt on, like he's in a slasher movie.
He's covered in blood and he has a pump shotgun in his hand.
I just have no bad things to say about this because it's so
this movie,
fun.
If you read the script, you would look at this movie and you're like, This is just horrendous.
This is garbage.
If you watch it, it's like JoJo. When you read the script, it should be awful, but then you watch it, and it's very entertaining.
It's fun.
It's very fun. It's a wild ride.
So there was one thing I wanted to. Everyone, there's just not a lot of deep critique and fucking like shit that I can dive into when it comes to Fast and Furious. It's fucking Fast and Furious, okay? Yeah. Basically, whenever we're talking about the Fast and Furious, just expect a pretty much like a recap of the best parts of the movie and like the funniest part. Because like, obviously,
if you want in detail stuff, go watch the commentary.
Go watch the commentary as we're watching it. Right. But like, I don't have the energy to criticize this movie because I feel like this movie is almost like, yeah, you're gonna criticize. It's a fucking car movie where we shoot cars until they explode. What the fuck? What are you gonna do about it?
And I love how it escalates from like, at the beginning, it's essentially like GTA.
Yeah.
Like it's a street racing and
pretty low key GTA mission.
Yeah, and then it's just like.
They might be going to space.
James Bond.
They might be going to space in the 9th one.
Yeah.
That's how you know how far. That's how you know how far the series has gone.
They've really gone far.
But I guess one problem I have with it is that like, if you guys want to hear a problem I have with this movie, I don't like the whole like going into the knot and like the engine of the car, the CGI. Like that shit's really, it's really dated and bad.
Like
but
if you don't like that, you're gonna love this next movie.
Oh no, I may have some shit to say about that. I don't know.
Think about this movie, but it's Florida.
Oh yeah, location change, baby.
That's the next movie. This movie, but Florida.
Another thing that's just hilarious is they literally have a fucking thing called Race Wars. Like that doesn't sound very good. Race Wars.
Dude, I like how it's like they're all illegally street racing, and then they go to this like organized racing
official.
Like there are police there.
Yeah.
How are you not all getting caught?
Well, like I guess it's like
literally he was in a car chase with the police.
Okay, well
maybe a week prior.
Okay, well they're doing it on like a public street at like night. Maybe they just like they're like, all right, maybe they're like they tell all those fucking like drag racers like, all right, you motherfuckers, so you can stop fucking racing in the streets, even though you haven't stopped racing in the streets. We're gonna have this little event so you could. It's like their purge. It's like their drag racing purge. Yeah. They just get everything out,
It's like, all right, just come to this, just chill out.
Well, also another thing is, I feel like, what's his face? The really smart guy got killed for like no reason.
Oh, Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse.
I think they sort of
could have kept him on. Yeah, there needed to be a fatality.
Yeah. There needed to be a genuine like death, other than like the villains.
I didn't know if you knew about like have you ever seen the post-credit scene?
The no.
There's a post-credit scene.
Is there one in all these movies?
I think so, probably. But like, so the end, it's like the credits end.
Fast and Furious post-credit scene. That's just so weird to think about.
Well, it is kind of its own like cinematic universe.
Yeah,
with Hobbs and Shaw now, and Better Luck Tomorrow. It's kind of
it is, yeah.
But so it cuts to Baja, Mexico, and you got Dom driving around. He's giving a monologue, and I live my life a quarter mile at a time. I don't know why I like that quote. I like that quote. I don't necessarily know. I don't know what makes it cool to me, but like I like it for some reason. I like the way it sounds.
I love my family, my brothers in arms.
Yeah.
Thank you God for fast cars.
And then he talks about like
Mexico.
So he says like I live my life a quarter mile at a time, and then he talks about like how when he drag races though, it's like in that 1 second, I'm free.
I'm free. Oh, the quote.
And then he just kind of drives through Baja. I actually don't remember what else happens in it.
That sounds like a cologne commercial.
Hold on.
That just sounds like a cologne commercial.
Hold on. I'm gonna rewatch.
Okay. That just sounds like a cologne commercial to me. I live my life a quarter mile at a time as he's driving through like just sand. Like he has like a 70s muscle car and he's just like trudging through just like 3 feet of sand.
Oh, so that's literally it. He just says that monologue and like drives off in the distance. That's the end.
He drives off into the sunset.
Okay, another problem I have with this movie, it ends way too fucking quick. It ends so weirdly and abruptly. Like we don't even cut back to the fucking, the house to see how everyone in the fast house is doing after this traumatic event after Jesse's died. Jesse's just laying on the front lawn, dead as they're fucking drag racing across the train tracks.
His dead body's just there on like the sidewalk. Yeah, well, I think it's sort of because it's supposed to be like, it's setting it up for in the next movie because it's just like, Brian now, he's completely isolated from them.
Yeah. He's on his, yeah. You know what? I'm going to say I'm excited for Too Fast, Too Furious. I'm ready to watch another Fast movie at this point.
Yeah, dude.
And so I guess overall that, that's kind of all we got.
Yes.
That's all the motherfucking topics.
Yes.
Everybody.
Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah, thanks for
another episode
and or watching.
For listening and or watching. As usual, pray for end of Evangelion 4.0 to come out soon.
Yep.
I always have to address that at the end of an episode.
Yeah. The daily reminder to send your prayers.
To send your prayers to Hideaki Anno.
Your thoughts and prayers to
the god of this new world. Yep. Look out for the commentary coming approximately a week after this is uploaded.
Right. And expect another episode this month.
Yes, because we uploaded slightly late.
Yeah,
so we'll be uploading back to the normal schedule at the end of the month.
So
we normally try to upload
once a month.
Like the last couple of days.
Yeah,
of
last
the
few,
month
right?
Or whatever.
But
so I'll be looking forward to that and the commentary.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
Hopefully we end this episode. I don't say see you next week like I've done in like the past 3 episodes.
For real? You did that?
Yeah, I've said see you next week, and I kid you not, like 3 episodes prior.
That's awesome.
Like every single one of them. Yeah, I'll just say see you next week, and then the recording will end off, and I'm like, oh wait, I'm not going to see them until another month.
Hey, you know what? Fuck it, dude.
You know what?
Craig,
see you guys next week.
See you next week.
See you next week,
That's
guys.
the new outro.
That's the new
Craig,
outro.
take it away.
See you guys.